Well, this is another great opportunity, and I'm glad that I have the opportunity to chip in on our discussion on the Sacrament of Holy Orders. And as we usually do, I'm going to begin with a reading from Scripture. If you have a Bible with you, and you really should, you can turn to Hebrews chapter 5, beginning in verse 1. And it reads, "For every high priest chosen from among men is appointed to act on behalf of men in relation to God, to offer gifts and sacrifices for sins. He can deal gently with the ignorant and wayward, since he himself is beset with weakness. Because of this, he is bound to offer sacrifice for his own sins, as well as for those of the people. And one does not take the honor upon himself, but he is called by God, just as Aaron was." And I want to highlight that last verse, which says that no man takes this upon himself, and that was certainly true in my life. I went for many, many, many years with absolutely no thought of ever being a Catholic priest, and yet in the course of my life, what was once unimaginable became inevitable. And my experience was, as I really began to pray in earnest about the call that God had in my life, it's not like God showed up one day and said, "Father Mike, this is my plan for your life." But it is something, again, through honest and sincere prayer, that became very self-evident over time. And here's exactly how it broke down. Um, when I began sincerely inquiring about the work and the relationships in my life that drew me closer to God, and as I prayed that God would give me more of the work and more of the relationships that drew me closer to Him, and also prayed for the courage to let everything else go, the only conclusion that I could come to was that God was calling me to priestly life. Now, don't mistake the brevity of those words to lead you to the conclusion that this was an easy or an obvious decision in my life. It came after a great deal of prayer and also a great deal of struggle, because all of the alternatives, whether married life or single life or religious life, have a lot of good in them. But God did not create you to seek the things that are easy or pleasurable, or that are for some reason appealing to you. God called you to a very specific vocation in your life. And so I encourage all of you to do the same thing that I did, is first to pray with great sincerity to the Lord, asking Him to show you the work and the activities and the relationships that will lead you back to Him, and to pray that you will have the courage and the wisdom to let everything else go. I know just from the basics of statistics that God is calling some of you to priesthood. And so I will continue to pray for all of you, that you will all go through that sincere exercise of seeking God's desire for your life and the courage to pursue it. And for those of you who are future brother priests of mine, I will pray for you in a particular way, that God will stir the fire that is at the bottom of your heart, that you will arrive at your understanding of God's call to the priesthood at the appropriate time, and that you will be assured of the prayer and support of the Christian people every step of the way. And so, my brothers, enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon.